what's happening everyone, FM Journeyman here, and welcome back to Weston-Not Super Mare. In this special edition, we're going to look at this year's youth intake. Now obviously this is a very, very exciting time for any football manager in the world of Football Manager, because this is the time of year where you might get that star-studded regen. So I haven't seen this team whatsoever, so I'm going to look it through with you guys one by one. So this is how I like to do it. I like to look at the players individually, step by step, and assess if I'm going to sign them. Just because my wage budget isn't that high here in the lower divisions, you've kind of got to be picky on who you take on. So let's go take a look at the youth candidate team. Now off first impression, not too much to talk about. A few high potential players. Let's start off with Matty Boateng. Now he's listed as a target man. Now he's 16 years old, 6 foot, so pretty average when it comes to that. Pretty good mental ability and very good physical for his level. Determination is low, however. That's only a 2, so it's unlikely to reach that 4-star potential, as my assistant manager points out here. But he's definitely a player I'll keep around. He's only around £5 a week, so that's not going to do that much damage. Next up, Lewis Walsh, who is a defensive centre-half that can also play left-back. 6'5", so he's kind of a giant back there. Should win plenty of balls in the box. Mental is not too bad. Determination of 10, so that's a very good number for a player at this level, and physical aren't too bad as well. He definitely could be a useful player down the line. Probably nothing more than a squad rotation player, but a steady player nevertheless. Then we have Dave Richardson. Next up, my assistant manager rates him at a possible 3-star potential. Determination's only 5, and if you look at his technical ability, it's pretty atrocious. Considering for a striker, his finishing 3, composure 6, he's going to have a lot of work to do before he can play any games for us, really. So you know what, I'm not going to sign him just yet. I'm going to see how he does the rest of the season in the reserve team, and we'll make a judgment from there. Next up, we have Angus Smart, who's actually a 1-star current ability. He's one of 2 players, the other being Matty Boateng. Now he doesn't really fit the system that I have in place, but if you actually look at him as an overall player, he does actually got some pretty well-rounded attributes. So I'm going to go ahead and sign him on, because you know what? I can always change my formation, and obviously that might help with squad depth if I do so. Next up, Robert Page, our first goalkeeper. Now, he's obviously got a 1.5 to maybe 2.5-star potential according to my assistant manager. Again, my assistant manager isn't the best resource to use, but it'll give you guys a general overlook. Mental, left to be desired. Physical, not that great either. As far as goalkeeping attributes, rushing out, excellent. So that's good because we play a slightly higher line, and its handling's also pretty effective as well, being 13, and his eccentricity being only 3. So that's actually a pretty good, well-rounded attributes for a goalkeeper. Not terrible. He definitely will be no more than a 3rd choice in his career. So I'll sign him up anyway, just to give us an added player back there. Next up, Stephen Corduroy, who can play right midfield and left midfield. Doesn't fit our system whatsoever. Doesn't really have a place in our team going forward. And then we have Ollie Rogers, a centre midfielder. 1, possibly 2-star potential player. Nothing really special about him either. Technically, he's abysmal. Mentally, absolutely appalling. And physically, doesn't offer much there either, so I'm skipping over him. Next up, Adam Bell, who is an attacking playmaker who can play in the hole between the attack and midfield. Fitness is good, flair's good, definitely a flair type of player, but unfortunately doesn't really have the technical, mental ability or physical to really compete at any level that I'd be managing in, so I'm going to be skipping over Adam Bell. Next up, Carl Tyndall. Again, nothing really off my first impression. Obviously, right back can also play left back as well if needed. Technically, he's absolutely appalling. That's one of the worst attributes one of the worst set of attributes I've seen in a long time. Mentally, a little bit better. Good aggression, good decisions, and good leadership, but it doesn't really help him at right back. And unfortunately, he doesn't make it up for in the physical department either, so he will not be signed to a youth contract. Next up, Tom Pearson, another attacking midfielder. This time he's a left winger, and as you can see, another player that won't really make it at this level. Not really much to talk about there. Let's skip over him. He's not going to get a contract. Next up, Darren Forker, who is another right winger. He has a little bit more pace, a little bit better mental attributes, but again, he lacks the technical department and doesn't fit my system, so I'm going to have to skip over him. Next up, we got Matt Brook, who is a centre midfielder, but unfortunately, he doesn't offer a lot either. Technical ability, not really anything to talk about there. Mentally, good aggression, good work rate, and physically, he lacks there as well. Obviously, naturally, those attributes could grow over time, but I really don't think he's going to improve enough to warrant any kind of deal. Next up, we got Stuart Fripp, who is a centre-half. Now, he actually looks slightly better than the last couple of players we've looked at, just because if you look at his primary attributes of heading and marking, and his physical capabilities, he actually looks a little bit better rounded than the last couple of players. He actually will get a youth contract. I don't expect anything from him. I don't think he'll ever play a game for us, but I'm going to keep him around just in case, because he has some of those key attributes you would look for in a centre-half. So we'll keep him around just a little bit, see how well he does. Next up, Marcus Frazier. Now, he's another one that has also very similar attributes to the last player, Stuart Fripp. Definitely some good physical capability, good determination, okay heading and marking, good tackling as well, and good positioning. So really has those key attributes you'd look for in a centre-half. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a contract as well. Not to mention he can actually play midfield too. So that's nice to see his versatility there. Next up, Josh Hope, a left winger. He actually got some pretty okay attributes for a left winger. Solid crossing, and acceleration's okay, pace is okay, but again, doesn't fit my style or system, so I'm going to have to skip over him. And last but not least, hopefully, Peter Arnott, who is a left back, can also play centre-half and left midfield. His attributes don't really ring out anything special to me here. Technical ability, pretty poor. Mental ability, only 2 above 10 decisions and work rates. Physical capability, not that high either. So he is not going to get a contract. So there you have it. So I'm really only going to sign 6 players to the squad or the youth team this year. So a little bit disappointed in our youth intake this season, but there's possibly 1, maybe 2 players that'll make some impact in the squad. Matty Boateng definitely being one. He actually might get some game time this season, and then the other player being Lewis Walsh. Again, he's not spectacular, but he's an intriguing prospect just because of his height and some of his early attributes and a decent amount of determination too. So you never know, he might prove to be a useful player for us down the line. Other players that I'm going to sign, Lewis Welsh, just some good foundations with him. Stuart Fripp, the same with him, some just good foundations. Marcus Frazier, once again, good foundations. Angus Smart is a player that does intrigue me as well. Doesn't really fit my shape or formation, but I'll see if I can retrain him to play a bit more deeper. Maybe he's a deep line playmaker in my 3-man midfield, and maybe he can get a couple of games in. And then the other one being a goalkeeper. Obviously, I'll like to try and bring in as many goalkeepers as I can. It's a specialised position, so he'll definitely get at least a contract for a year or 2. So there you have it. That completes our youth intake class of 2017. Naturally, I'm a little bit disappointed. Only maybe 1 or 2 players are going to have any sort of impact this season whatsoever. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, remember to go check out the rest of the season and see how well we're doing. We are currently sat in first place in the table, as you can see. The next episode is going to be in the next match, and that's going to be against Maidenhead, so that'll come out very shortly. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.